Yeah, I heard you came home with the
Championship belt.
Yeah, buddy.
Championship belt.
Ah! Yes, this is my my little trophy.
Just a little number
thing.
one.
And that's a real belt too. We
Yeah,
all
it's so
held
heavy,
it. That shit's
right?
heavy.
It's like junky.
Thank you, Drewski. I appreciate you so much for having me. Honestly, like I said, I've been like hustling crazy.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm never even home. So when I started doing that show, like you could go in with that confidence, be like, yo, I got this in the bag. Plus, be like, yeah, you know, I'm about to win this. I just never think that's a good idea.
She watching me like a is cable. I'll be on no label, but my clothes be all label.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of a No Label Convo. Here with my boy Nell.
Yo.
Shouts out to everybody subscribing on YouTube as normal, liking on Instagram, following, sharing. Follow us on Twitter at No Label the Pod, Instagram at No Label the Pod. Nell, go ahead, get to the sponsor.
Word, shout out to our sponsor. Shout out to Guap Coin.
Guap Coin.
Cryptocurrency for the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of cool things going on in the cryptoverse. You know what I'm saying? So tap in. Hopefully y'all doing y'all research and like comment below too on the YouTube. Let us know what coins you rocking with. You know what I mean? Let us know if it's some coins we should be looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. Give us some engagement, man.
Yeah, we definitely would appreciate it. The wonderful singer we have in front of us today, we've known each other since high school.
What?
Well, since high school, but we initially met when I was like seven, 6.
7, 8, yeah.
Yeah, so this has been a long time coming in this. We go get it. We go get into how we initially met. What's up, Amber Simone?
Hi, guys. Hi.
What's goody? How are you?
Appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, my
of course.
gosh, guys. Thanks for finally having me.
Even though she was ducking us, everybody.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I knew that was coming. Nah, for real. I just been like, haven't been here. But like, as soon as I was here and I was like, we found a good weekend, we made it work, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
So, we could start from the beginning.
Let's take it back.
Yeah, so we initially met when it was like, might have been like 7, 8. She was like 6. We was at a summer camp. It was the Shiloh's. It was like music, basketball, all this stuff over at the Shiloh Church over like damn near by Swan. Mm-hmm. So we used to go there, and we had this is back when in my musical days. You know what I'm saying? And
When you was at PA?
no, before.
Before that.
So I was like, they was like, oh, you should do a solo. You should do a solo. I'm like, word. So I'm like, bet. So we do that joint. We have a big performance. The Mayor Masiello was there at the time. And then it was a whole bunch of group of kids who had solos. And I didn't know it was going to be a bunch of kids. So we got upstairs and lined up to a bunch of other people. And one of the people I was lined up next to was Amber. So then we all did our solos and stuff. And it came out dope. But it was just like...
I should have brought that footage. I should have brought it. But it's all the way in North Carolina at my aunt's house.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's lost somewhere in the ether.
No, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it.
As long as it's lost somewhere, it doesn't pop back up, I'm cool.
No, it's great.
Word. But I'm trying to think. So, like, around that time, you just been singing since a youth.
Whole life. Yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah.
I would say actually one of the first like duets I ever had besides with my sisters was with Nelson. It was so weird.
Oh,
but
that's so cute.
yeah, we were definitely babies, and it's just for that to come to like we like know each other and we're so close now. Like I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know it happened until I went I had graduated, I think, high school, and I went down to North Carolina to go see my my aunt and my cousins. And I was just going through, like, oh, look at some home videos. I pop one in, and I'm just watching. I'm just like, oh, anything is possible. It was the cutest thing. And, like, I zoom in. I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, my God, that's Nelson. I was like, wait, stop. I, like, took my camera out. I was like, I sent it to his dad. I sent it to my mom. Like, how come y'all never even told us that we knew each other that long? They're like, we just thought y'all knew.
Yo, it was crazy because, like, even before she found the tape, we was kicking it for like a good 3-4 years. Like, had no idea.
No idea.
That's funny.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. So when were you? I can't say that. You went to Buff Sim?
Yes, Buffalo Seminary.
What was your experience like there?
Honestly,
Where's that?
okay, it's like a really, really small all girls private school right on the corner of like Bidwell and Elmwood. Well, like Bidwell and like Argyle, but it's like kind of right behind ETS. That makes sense. You got to take Argyle all the way right down. To be honest, I loved them. Like I feel like I flourished there. It was one of, I say, the best like 4 years of my life. It was super, super intimate. So like I was in a class of 28 girls, but then once Holy Angels shut down, we had girls come over from Holy Angels, and like it kind of like beefed our class up to 32. So I was like, okay, like we're working with something. A lot of times I did have certain situations that I feel like I had to deal with like internally, just by being like, I feel like the only one who identified as African American. I mean, we had like 2 biracial girls in there, but I felt like in that moment I was the only one in a sense who came from my economic background, my social background, and my racial background. But overall, minus like those things that I've had to personally deal with internally, I think overall, like I've had like the best friendships of my life, the best experiences. I did go there on a full ride, which I'm super grateful for, to have had that opportunity to even have a full ride. But definitely a great experience. I love STEM. STEM was a great time for me.
Word.
Yeah.
Man, because I just remember, like, you and all your sisters, they all went to private schools. And it was just like, I know a few, but I didn't know too many who went to black women who went to private schools.
Yeah.
And it was just, I always curious about that type of just environment.
Well, you know, prep gang, Buffalo Prep, you know.
Yeah, prep had everybody, all the black
So
people, I mean, linking up.
Everybody had like their people in their class who they went to the same school with. So I did like, you know, I had like upperclassmen who I knew through prep. So like it wasn't a hard situation for me to blend in. I guess being in private school my whole life, maybe that was why it was easier for me. But I do know other people, like, in a sense, struggled with that. Like, it's kind of like 2 different worlds in a sense.
The better facts.
So what do you think some of the benefits were to being able to go to a private school?
I think a lot of the experiences. I know that those experiences that I had in high school, I wouldn't have probably had those same experiences somewhere else. Simple things like getting a chance to go to SDLC, which is Student Diversity Leadership Conference. It's just basically like all these kids who are minority background, they meet up at this convention center in DC, and we talk about like all our problems that we have to deal with being the minority. I think
The school pays for that and everything?
yes, listen to School pays for that. I guess I'm kind of like, it feels like it was kind of like long ago, so I'm trying to recollect and go back and be like, what were some things? I say that a lot of my friends I went to high school with, we all went to middle school with each other. So like honestly, I just wanted to keep my same friends. That was also like the reason I really wanted to go to STEM. Initially, I really wanted to go to performing arts. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the typical like high school musical.
I was expecting you to say you went to performing arts.
Oh, I wanted to.
I'm
begged.
glad you didn't go to performing arts.
That's what a lot of people say. They're like, oh, you just would have been a different person. But I mean, we'll never know. But I genuinely wanted to go to PA so badly. I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. But I mean, the way the cookie crumbled, I still think that like, I'm super grateful for like my high school experience.
Nah, big facts. Did everybody at your high school knew you some?
I feel like looking back, I think I was kind of popular in high school in a sense of being like that creative individual. Like I said, there's only 28 girls in our class.
Yeah.
So it was like I was like that creative control in a sense. A lot of times for our class, we have things like Hornet Jacket Day, like school divides in half. But like I was the captain of like my freshman class, my sophomore class, my junior class, and my senior class. So it's like having that creative control, in a sense, it had to do with music too. Facts. So I think that that's why it was so easy for me to like come up with like the dances or like certain skits that you had to sing in. Everybody knew I sang. I was always singing. My teacher would be like, yo, Amber, shut up. Like, it was just a known thing.
Word. That's fire. So once you left prep, you went to Buff State?
Oh, after I left Buffalo Seminary, I went to Buff State, yeah.
Word.
That was a
what did you study?
eye-opening experience. I have a bachelor's of science in music and psychology with a minor in digital music production.
That's right.
So like DMP is a minor that they had at Buff State at the time. I think it's a major now, but it was a minor that they had at like back then for like doing the music thing, mixing, mastering.
Dope.
Yeah, so I'm tapping into that now too, which is like really dope. Being able to like still stay in the music realm, being a singer and a songwriter, I can still like tap into like the audio engineering part, which I think is super dope.
Yeah, it's definitely necessary. It save you a lot of money and time.
Listen, I'll be in my basement like on Logic Pro X, man. I stand by Logic. I won't lie to you.
Well, that's hard. That's hard. So I'm trying to think. How often did you do like lessons and all that stuff with it? Because you play the piano and sing.
Yeah. My whole life. It feels like my whole life type. Do we curse on this thing?
Yeah.
I'm trying to like, modify. Yeah, it's just been like my whole life. Like me and my sisters, we had a trio growing up. The Chin Sisters. So my last name is Chin. 2 N's like a double chin. And we just grew up singing with each other. But my dad was so heavily into the music that like he was more so like that guidance growing up to make sure that we stayed on our shit. Like practice, like even voice lessons. I remember before going to college, that was like my mom, of course, but like I grew up in the church singing in the church at Macedonia, Bethesda my whole life. And I think that really started the foundation of me having that comfortability on stage, or like having that range in a sense, because I feel like in church, you might have to sing a soprano part, then you have to go all the way to tenor, and you just don't know what you might be that day. But I think that me sticking with music my whole life, like I've had a lot of support in that, even when it came to like being classically trained. Like I do opera. I don't know if that's like.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I do opera too.
That's crazy.
Just because when I was in college, that was my major was music. So you could either be classical or jazz. I went the classical route. It's technically classical music, but I just say opera, so it's easier, like more layman's term. But yeah, I worked hard with that. Even getting into colleges, a lot of them require a lot of previous auditions. Who have you studied with? I'm like, studied with? I was on Google. I was on YouTube.
Like, how do you expect that me going into college?
And I think that was
coming to get the experience.
That was the hardest thing for me, because the whole time it's like, oh, I feel qualified in music. But then when I got to college, I realized how unqualified, in a sense, I was when it came to music theory. And like, I kid you not, music as a major, it was so hard for me. Hard for me.
Yeah, most people like who really make music and they try to go the college route with it, they say it's really like a pain in the ass.
It's night and day. I would say night and day.
Some of the most creative people, like I look at like when I met Morrow, like I met him in Fredonia, and he was just like, "Yo, the music program is like it's crazy."
I switched last minute from Fredonia to Buff State, which is crazy.
Yeah, I remember that time.
I'm like, Nelson, I'm going to Fredonia. Like, I'm so excited.
I was like, no, don't do it.
He's like, no,
so why? You switched because he said don't do it?
No, I actually switched because I wanted to kind of, in a sense, start my own legacy. Like, my parents met there. They were in the church choir together, the music scene in Fredonia. So I just wanted to do my own thing, in a sense, kind of start my own little lane.
I'm glad you ain't go there, because then I'd have been having issues with a lot of people.
Why said that?
Because some of them dudes out there on the basketball team.
Don't do that.
Oh, we don't do athletes.
I'd have been on
shit.
shit.
We don't do athletes.
I'd have been on shit. Like, you try, and I'm calling my niggas from Buffalo to come up here and stop playing with my sister.
What?
Dog.
No, that's a fact. I don't know. Nelson, we got each other. Be like this.
How about that? But anyways, let's change the subject. But now I wanted to know, why did you choose classical over jazz when you were picking your music major at Buff State?
Honestly, I felt like it was the easier route. I'm going to be 100% honest. Jazz has a lot of sharps, flats, augmented, diminished chords. That's a whole new language for me. I just want to say versus like it's just different, and I felt like it was putting way too much on me. Like, and me double majoring when I first started, I was like, y'all gonna take me out before I even get to second semester. Yeah. So honestly, as simple as that is, I took the easier route. So.
Nah, that's real.
The music joints be rigorous, because I remember so many people who I knew was like music majors in Fredonia, and like they were just struggling like mentally and just getting through just regular class shit. Like, and it's just like, damn, like I'm sorry, you have to go through that. Like,
And
I know
all that isn't even necessary for them
Yeah.
to get to where they want to go.
That's what
to
I'm
be
trying to
successful
say.
in music.
Exactly.
Like, it's
Half the
Not
time
even
when I'm
necessary.
at the studio, I'm like, how much have I learned and utilized from my major in a sense to keep this session going? And I realized a lot of this was previous information that I had beforehand. Like I remember coming out of class and crying because I'm like, if I don't pass this music theory class, I have to change my major. Because if you don't pass theory, you ain't going nowhere. You're not going anywhere. But like every semester we had, well, classical, you had 2 songs in English, 2 songs in French, 2 in Italian. Yeah, 2 songs in French, Italian, and English. So
That's crazy.
it was wild. Like it was a lot of memorization that like I felt like I literally was in drumline. Like I was just like memorizing my stuff to just get through because I'm like, I'm a lost cause at this point. I don't have any theory background. Like, yeah, I play, but a lot of it is by ear because like it takes so much energy for me to like read that music because I didn't have that foundation. It was all through the church, my dad, my family, by ear.
No, that's real. Do you know how to read now? You read a little bit?
I would say I'm better than I was 4 years ago.
That's valid.
It was crazy. I was just looking at like one of my old things. I was like, how did I get this far? Like, I don't even know. Honestly, I was memorizing. Like right before the test, I would look at it. I would have somebody else who took the test. I'm like, yo, give me your paper, give me your paper. And I would look at A, B, and C, and I'm like, okay, try to memorize. He's probably gonna choose B because the last person was told to do A, so I'm gonna get B or C. And I would memorize them. It's so sad.
That's valid.
Hey, you did what you had to do to get through.
But listen, I graduated.
Get through.
I graduated 3 point something, and that's what
Facts.
matters.
It's about the destination or how you get there.
Right.
Where what's in it? I remember like music stuff started really popping for you like towards the end of like your tenure at Buff State. I remember you was about to debating whether you was gonna leave or not. Like, how hard was that decision to figure out like should I just really just go ham with the music or finish your school?
I'm gonna say that like the music industry in itself is such a it's such a journey. Like people think that like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get this one song and it's gonna be like bang. Like that is like, yeah, that happens, of course, but a lot of people that happens to, they have put in so much work and so much preparation for that moment that like they're ready for that. In a sense, I feel like I wasn't ready when everything happened. Like when I went viral in 2015, it was just so random. Like I just felt like, oh, like it's at 100K, that's cool. Then my friend's aunt, she's like, it's at 2 mil. I was like, okay, cool. Then like 7 mil, I was like, oh, this is like a thing.
Yeah.
What did you go viral with? What was it?
I had did a remake of Jhené Aiko's The Worst. And I'm a big Jhené fan. I was hurt. Some boy on some basketball team that hurt my feelings. And I wrote a song about it. And at that moment, like I just loved covering songs. Like remaking my own and just putting some kind of like Amber Simone spin on it. And at that time though, like the song had already been out. Like I had made that remix probably before prom. So like March, April. And then like when it really took off was like a year later, like the next summer.
Yeah.
I went to my friend's graduation party and I had sang the song, but like nobody was recording or anything. So my friend's aunt came up to me. She's like, "Can you do it again?" And, like in my heart, I'm just like, "Dang, I done just did this."
Is this the one where you were sitting down?
Yeah,
Okay,
I was sitting
yeah.
down and I was just kind of like, "Dang, I just did this." But like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna do it again. And like doing it again, like I feel like in a sense changed my life because that's when she recorded it. And she's like, "Oh, this is gonna go viral." I'm just like, "Hi, yeah, it's gonna go." Like, and the fact that it did was just like such an eye-opening experience that anything can happen to anybody at that time. It's just whether or not you're prepared for that moment. I was in college when it first happened. I was going into my sophomore year. But education is so important in my family that like I felt like in a sense I was letting people down by not finishing school and taking a more not so like sturdy route, just going with the music. That was very hard for me because in that sense, like that momentum that I had was like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get that again. Like a lot of regret in a sense was filling my mind because I'm like, what am I doing in school if this is what I want to do anyway? Why am I going to school to do it? And I'm not the kind of person that pushes anything on anyone, But I do know that everybody has their journey. I don't have any regrets whatsoever going to college and finishing because I feel like a lot of those people I did meet later on have helped me flourish in this moment now where I do feel ready. I do feel prepared. So I don't really have any regret, but I look back at that moment like that was a very big lesson for me.
It never crossed your mind to like maybe go with the music route since you have the momentum and like take online classes or go back and get your degree?
I wanted to do that. That was me. Like I was like, no, I'm not going. Nelson, you know.
We talked a lot.
About a lot. I was like, no, I don't want to go to school. Like I just want to be great, and nobody wants to see me flourish. They just want me to get a regular job. And like in a sense, like for my family, it wasn't really like about that. They just wanted me to have a backup plan. But like me going through my own journey, I realized that sometimes it's just really not even important to have a backup plan because then you start to get in that mindset that plan A isn't going to work.
Yeah, you get comfortable with plan A not working.
Yeah, and I think that's what started to happen to me over time, like in college, which is a little unfortunate, but I wanted to do that. I was like, loans? Yeah. Stay in school? Why would I do that if I'm over here
I was
doing
telling
great?
them, like, yo, do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
Drop that shit.
But I'm such a family-oriented person. I just really didn't want to let my mom down. And I knew that her being an educator, like, that was just something really important to her. But, like I said, I don't have any regret, but I was definitely team drop school, go chase the bag, go chase the dream.
Facts. And I remember when around that time and then all of that was going on, and it was just, I'm like, man, I hope she can, you know what I mean, get to and then, of course, the next thing, pop starts popping just like that. You ended up going on, was the Harry Conlon Jr. show?
Yeah, and that was like, in a sense, like I was kind of like, this is happening, but like I still did what I needed to do, so it's still possible. You know, you just gotta work really hard, and you gotta maybe set yourself up for another time to go viral. But like Harry was, I think the first time I was like be able to be super transparent about my story. I was able to meet the doctor who ended up saving my voice, which is like, it was super overwhelming in a sense because I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to cry. Like I was like, I don't want to cry on national television, but I'm so happy that I met her because like it just really made my story a reality because I was such a baby when it happened. I was 6 months. Well, I'm saying that as if people know. Like, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was born with a birth defect called left craniosynostosis. So that was affecting the way my skull was forming. You know, like when you're still a baby, your skull's still soft. So over time, like once my whole skull formed, the way it was supposed to finally be formed, my face wasn't going to be symmetrical because over time, like the bones were going to start to pull like my whole face down. So my mom was like, yeah, you guys got to do something, figure it out. So I did have the reconstructive surgery. Everything went well, but my post-op, basically my throat was starting to swell up too much where like when it was time to intubate me, like it was too difficult. And that was like a really hard thing in that moment for my mom and my dad because they were talking about tracheing me, which is when they cut a hole in your throat and you have to speak out of a voice box. I was like, no, she's going to be a singer. Like, you need to either give her more time. We need to see a different specialist, but she's going to be a singer. I kid you not. I don't know what in 1996 made my mom say that, but like she just knew it. And I know, right? And you think about my mom,
like that's wild. And like
wild. And then like they left me on the intubator for like a little bit longer, and I was able to breathe on my own because the swelling had went down, so they didn't have to trach me, which is a super big blessing. And yeah, so now I can sing, and I'm super grateful. But that moment on Harry like made me really realize like this is like I feel like I'm legitimately born to do this. Like I don't have something else that I feel feels this right for me.
How old were you when you got to meet the doctor that saved your
Probably like 23. 23
years later.
Yeah, 23 years later, right? It's so small. It's such a small world because I actually knew her daughter. We played lacrosse with each other in high school. Wow. Her daughter went to my rival school, so I was just like, wait, your daughter's who? She's like, yeah, you guys played lacrosse with each other. I was like, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's
no
crazy.
You play lacrosse? That's dope.
You know.
Was it nice?
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm quite valid with my acrostic. Pause. Is that the moment you say pause? Yeah, I'm pretty good. I was played more so like defense and mid, but sometimes I would bounce to like attack if they really needed me. But like I was like defending. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. So if you ever want to lax it up sometime, bro.
Yeah, probably won't, but
yeah, that's fair.
Word. So once everything like boom, you went viral. Shoot, you start finishing school. You finish school.
Yes.
Go viral again.
Yes, I did. I almost forgot. Yes, I did. Kind of. It was more so on Twitter though.
Word.
And I don't feel like I don't really have a lot to say, so I don't be on Twitter a lot. But yeah, I didn't even know. Because I don't be on Twitter.
I don't be surprised that like after the first time I was like, oh yeah, this gonna go. It was just like,
oh, so what was it on Twitter?
It was the remix I had did to SZA's The Weeknd, but I was the other girl. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen that. I did see that.
So, like I said, I just like to tell stories. I feel like that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's when people can really identify with your stuff is when you're just like keeping it a buck and telling a story. Yeah, it was super random on Twitter. I was just kind of like, wait, what? But that gave me more inspirations. Like, even though that happened the first time, and I feel like I dropped the ball in that sense to take the right path and finish college, it can happen again. You just gotta like, it has to be the right time with the right song.
yeah. So let's bring it up a little bit closer to present day. Yeah. We were gonna have you come in a few months ago, but then it was like, he said, "Oh wait, I got this opportunity to go to Africa." Yeah. I was like, we should definitely do it after that. so can you tell us about where did you go and what were you?
I went to Nigeria for about 5 weeks. I would say that Africa has really changed my perspective in a sense. I wouldn't say I came back a whole new person, but I would say that like my perspectives on life has really changed. I learned that there's a difference between relative poverty and absolute poverty. So being in the States, being an African American female, every place has its shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I struggle with whatever I struggle with being a black female. You struggle with being a black male wherever you are in America. The difference is in Africa, there's so much poverty that it doesn't match our poverty. Yeah. So what we think is low here, it's unmatchable. Is that a word? Unmatchable. It's not. They even look at that as of like, I need that in my life. But on the other hand, I have seen so much money in Africa. I think a lot of people think that everything is just so full of poverty. Everybody lives in huts and stuff. Yeah, you have the places on the mainland where people like, you know, have makeshift houses. But you go to Banana Island or you go to certain parts of Lekki, more money than I've seen here in America. And it's just like, it's like night and day. So I think the difference between here and Africa is that there's not like a big middle class. It's either like you have it or you don't have it. Yeah. Here, I feel like our middle class is very, very big in a sense where everyone is either like, you know, comfortable or they're trying to achieve somewhat of average lifestyle. Yeah. I got the opportunity to go to Africa to make music, which I'm super grateful for. I got to work with Davido's producer, which is a really big deal for me because I got to tap into a lot of Afrobeat, and Davido is big in Africa.
Should he big here?
Yeah, well, he's big everywhere, actually. I didn't even
What's
mean
his
to
producer's name?
Napji. His name is Napji killing this one. So I got a super big opportunity to work with him, and I guess going back to like my minor in a sense, that's why I'm like, oh, I look at school like, wow, maybe I did use some things from college. But like I said, my minor was digital music production. So bringing that to Africa, I was able to like hold my own session at Davido's house and just like do my thing. Like at his house, like I would have never thought like I'm engineering my own session in David's house. Like that's so random. But at the same time, I think it gave me a lot of perspective on just how Africans work in music. They work so hard because everyone is fighting for that one song. So different things, like they'll just, I mean, don't get me wrong, we'll stay up here and everything, but like they're very community, they'll just bring somebody in and be like, oh, like I need you on this. And like the African community in a sense of Afrobeat, there's, I wouldn't say small, but everybody in a sense knows everybody. So I don't know, I just think it was a super dope experience to be making music in Africa. I did other things too. I did a little touristy things, but I was mainly working on like footage and content and making some music out there, which I'm super excited about. I'll probably be dropping those in the summer.
Yeah, summertime vibes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely summer vibes. I'm
Were you able to
working on some
perform out there?
features. Yes, I did perform. Thank you, Nelly. I'd be forgetting. I did have a performance out there. That was my first overseas performance. And I opened up for this artist named Mins. He's big in Nigeria as well. And I think the love that I got out there was super unexpected. Because I was just like, they don't know me from a hole in the wall. Like, why they gonna clap for me? But like, that's what I'm trying to say. The amount of support out there is insane. And I know you went to Africa too. You were in South Africa. Did you kind of feel like that in a sense?
Their local music scene wasn't as big as like say Joburg. Like Joburg is known for the hip hop type shit. Like Cape Town is more like the up and comers. Like, oh, you sharpen your tool there, and then you go to Joburg. So it's like, but one thing I know that about those people is like, if they hear good talent, they will support the hell out of you. Like versus here, it's like, oh yeah, you dope, but we can't market you. Oh, we can't sell like that. Like over there, it is like, no, if you're good, I'm gonna fucking support you, and I'm gonna make sure I can do anything I can. Yeah, we're gonna find a way. Versus here, it's like, yeah, you're the best rapper I ever heard, but it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, they want all the boxes checked prior to them pushing.
Yeah, you don't have any followers. Where's your social media? Like they don't care. Like, bro, it's you're dope or you not. Like,
where's your TikTok clips?
Yeah, nobody was asking for that the entire time I was out there, and I would say like that was the biggest difference. I would say no, there wasn't really like people weren't looking for social qualifications. I would say like, oh, how many TikTok subscribers do you have? What's your YouTube looking like? Blase, blase. It was just like, if you got it, you got it. And like, they were just going off like sonically, like, you sound great. I want to work with you. Like, it was stuff like that. And in a sense, I feel like that kind of culture is lost because everybody's looking at numbers. It's such a numbers game now. But I was able to kind of like let all that go and not think about any of that because it was just so natural there. Like, everybody just wanted to make music to be happy. Like, and that's why I realized too, all their music, regardless if I was sad because something, because I dropped my phone in the sand and now there's like sand thing. As soon as the radio comes on, you're not thinking about any of that because like their goal in life is to be, in a sense, happy. They just want happiness because they come from really like, a lot of them come from nothing. So their goal is just to be happy and they compensate a lot of that through music. So
yeah, versus here, sometimes people are like, oh, I'm sad. I want to listen to nothing but sad music.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're going to pick it up so you're not dwelling in that shit.
Yeah, and that made me, in a sense, because like I'm kind of like a sappy girl. Like I like slow, sad music. That's just how I am. I thrive off of it. I love it. But that brought out a different side of me. I was like, oh, I'm capable of making like something that makes people happy versus sad. So
that's hard.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention too, when you talked about the levels of haves and have-nots over in Africa, it made me realize like even here, like we'd be like, oh, I come from the bottom. I was in the projects. And it's like, yo, you're living good over there.
Yeah,
like,
if only you knew.
Yeah, like I used to drive down the street every day, like a woman with her baby, we at the same spot in the middle of the road every day, asking for stuff like.
That's
like, literally living
out
like
there.
you got a bush and then you got like a tarp, like that's her house. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's a different level of poverty and like privilege. Like, bro, we're privileged enough to have a home. Like you have a mattress. Like you're blessed. Like it's a big difference when you see it and when versus when you've never been exposed to it.
And that's the thing, like, we would always hear about, like, poverty in other places, like India, Africa. But, like, I feel like once you go, you can't take that vision, like, out of your eyes. The things I would see every day. Yeah, the condition I would see people in, simple things as healthcare. Like, if, God forbid, something happened to me, I could just go to the hospital and they would treat me. Obviously, they would send me a hospital bill. But, like, their moment in that sense is, like, let me help that person. Over there, it's really, it's like about money. So if you don't have the money, we can't help you.
Yeah. And
is what it is.
Like even access to medicine, like pharmacies, like we go to the corner store. Oh, let me get some Advil. Let me go to. They don't have. They have corner stores, but they don't have medicine there. Like you got to go to the pharmacy over on the main road.
Yeah.
That's only open for 4 hours because it's only one doctor in the whole town. You know what I'm saying? It's
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah, very small, nuanced stuff that like we take for granted. But just from when you left Nigeria and you came back here, I remember as soon as you came back here, you hit the ground running.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. My hustle is just different because like what I was seeing every day waking up, I'm like, I have so much that I'm blessed to have in the States that even I think back, I'm like, oh, like, you know, I could be doing better. I could have X, Y, and Z. But like, it has made me so grateful for the things that I do have. And like, it just made me want to hustle way more once I came back here because I saw how they was hustling. 4 a.m., thing on their head, baby on their hip, other baby on their back. And it's just like, y'all just want to sell some grain nuts today. I can go do X, Y, and Z to get this X, Y, and Z amount of money because I have this opportunity or like these, what's it called? You know, like opportunity. It's just not the same.
Facts. So when you came back here, I remember you had something with, did you open up for Fireboy?
Yes, Fireboy. Oh, that was an amazing show. Fireboy is Nigerian as well, so I think that's why I'm saying a lot of things have come to fruition from my trip to Africa. Opening up for him was, I would say, like, one of my biggest openings I've had. And I was able to perform my songs that I made in Africa, so I felt like I had that connection with the audience in that moment. But being able to like meet Fireboy and go to one of his sessions has shown me like, yo, I don't even know if I'm hustling enough in my sessions. Like, cause like I take my sessions so seriously. Like I don't play about none of that. Cause like my money is my time. So I go to my sessions. Like I don't smoke before I go. No shade to anybody that does. But for me, vocalists, like I'm gonna be singing. Like I'm just, it's not gonna be the same. So like going to Fireboy's session and seeing how much control he took over his own, like with the live band, he's like, wait, no, I want you to make this kind of cadence instead. And went to the saxophone. It's like, okay, like can you just like lower this down for this one section, but like when I get to this part, I want you to do this. Like the way to control of that, even in a sense, just made me be like, wow, like I'm just trying to get like you in every way. The way he had that crowd, like it's just insane. And for him to have worked so hard to be an artist that has crossed over into the American lane is even an inspiration. Because like
that is not easy.
It's not. No.
Where was the performance at?
That is a great question. Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot. I should know that.
I think it was somewhere in the city.
It was definitely in New York, but it was a really important place. But in a sense, was it Soho House? No, that's where the listening thing was. See, nah, you did me foul. Put me on the spot. But I would say that in a sense,
moving around a lot in the city, like because she was doing that. She had you had the competition with DJ Drewski.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard you came home with the
championship belt.
Yeah, buddy.
Championship belt.
Yes, this is my little trophy.
This is a little number one.
And that's a real belt too. We
Yeah,
all
it's so
held
heavy,
it. That shit's
right?
heavy.
It's like junky.
Thank you, Drewski. I appreciate you so much for having me. Honestly, like I said, I've been like hustling crazy. Like I feel like I'm never even home. So when I started doing that show, like you could go in with that confidence, be like, yo, I got this in the bag. But like, yeah, I'm about to win this. I just never think that's a good idea because you never know what's gonna happen. I think you should always have your confidence in itself, but like I never go into anything cocky. Like that's just not me. But like when I went there, I was like, okay, like this is something different for me because I haven't been in a competition in a while, but I'm just gonna do my thing. And I think in a sense, I just did my shit and everybody was fucking with me. I won first, second, and third, which was like, yeah, it was really awkward because I'm not like that kind of person that's just like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm just kind of like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
Like,
how'd you get first, second, and third?
okay, so like the competition, there were 3 different judges and they all had their own prize. So they never got a chance to like talk about it amongst each other to be like, oh, this is who I chose. Like, this is who I chose. Okay, cool, this is who I chose. But like they all ended up choosing me in the end, which is a great, I'm super excited about it. But like, I know like if I was any other artist, I would have been like, all right, like,
Yeah, that's whack.
y'all not gonna give somebody else something. So they ended up giving, I think, another artist like studio time or something. But like I said, like I've just been trying to be like work on that sense of being the difference between cocky and confident. Like I can be confident for days, but like I know that in a sense, like my cockiness didn't get me here. My confidence did, and my aura and like the way that, like I hold a room. Like I never go into anything like, oh, I'm better than this person or X, Y, Z. No, you can never do that because God forbid Whitney Houston come out the back and you was talking all your shit. Now you look stupid. Like I would never do that. So I'm super grateful for this opportunity to have won those prizes, but I do have to go back and defend my honor.
Where?
So that's on the 24th. So if you are somewhere in the Jersey, New York area, let me know. I could try to grab you a ticket. He told me to bring all Buffalo out. So if y'all want to pull up, let me know.
24th?
The 24th of March. Let me know.
I gotta check the schedule.
Yeah,
Okay, but I also have a show. Oh my gosh, it's my dream, guys. Like I always want to perform at SOB'S. So
You got a show at SOB'S?
yes, I have a show at SOB'S.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. First time I ever went to SOB'S was actually when I was in town shooting a video, but Griselda was performing at SOB'S. And I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like, I want to go to the show. They're like, oh yeah, like, pull up. And once I did my research on SOB'S, I remember, like, Machine was telling me, he's like, this is like once you do SOB'S, it's like,
Yeah,
you just got to keep going. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, seeing them not start at SOB'S, but them having a show at SOB'S and seeing them flourish to where they are, it makes me feel so good to be like, oh my gosh, now I'm back at SOB'S and I'm on stage doing my thing. I feel good right now, yeah. I can't even lie.
That's hard. That's
So
hard.
are you opening up for somebody?
Yes, he is an amazing artist. His name is World. So WURLD.
I seen him on the
Where'd you see
Apple new artist joints.
Yes.
And I seen his joint was
Guys,
on the
please stream his
top
project.
10.
It's actually amazing.
Yeah.
I really like him because I think he has a good medium between, like, in a sense, like Afrobeat and R&B. He is African. I'm pretty sure he's Nigerian, but I don't want to say that just because I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that he's in the Afro scene. But his music is so soulful and like R&B, but with like
With the
just
sprinkle
a little
of
bit of Afro on it, and it's
That's
like
right.
it's such a vibe. So I'm super excited, super blessed to even have this opportunity, and we're gonna show out on 24th. So if y'all want to pull up, let me know.
Yeah. I want to pull. Yeah, we gonna pull up.
You guys should.
We gonna make it. I'm gonna make sure it happen. I'm gonna make
No
sure it
pressure.
happen.
No pressure.
Oh, it's
though.
the 24th of March?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
next week?
Thursday.
Like, yeah, this upcoming Thursday.
It's upcoming Thursday.
So I have 2 shows on that day, guys. I don't know.
I know you gotta work and shit, but
Right? No, that's what I said.
if
No
can pull some
pressure.
strings, we gonna talk.
I'm super excited, though. I do, like, having 2 shows on one day is definitely super stressful, but, like, there's gonna be times where I might have 3 shows or, like, 3 appearances on one day, and you just have to be ready for that. Like, yeah, the amount of times I just go back and forth from here to New York, like, I feel like I'm never in one place. But I know that that's what I need to do in order for me to get these opportunities that I've gotten. So
Yeah. What was I gonna ask you?
So how were you able to get the opportunity to perform at SOB'S?
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, you have great management.
yeah, I would say
I was like, who is
so I have great people around me. I would really say I know that, you know how people be like, oh yeah, you know, I came from the bottom. I did this on my own. Ain't no way in hell you did that on your
Don't
own.
believe none of that shit.
Don't believe any of that. I'm saying that off of experience because I'm telling you guys right now, like, I've been doing this music thing for a while, but I know even from that point back then, I wasn't doing it on my own.
Facts.
So now that I have people in my corner that truly believe in me and they're like making moves just as hard as I'm making moves, yeah, I did not do this by myself. I did not call World like, hey, can I get this? No, I think it's all through, I'm realizing connections and who you know. And that's why, like, even my trip to Africa has expanded my network to a sense, like, overseas, to even people who have are from Nigeria, but like are in the States. I'm super grateful for Chinasa and Dillion. They have been in my corner riding for me. And I know I'm probably not the easiest person because like in the end of the day, I'm still a girl. Like I gotta have my nails done, my hair done, my face beat, and it's like a lot, but they're so patient and they want me to succeed just as badly as I want, maybe even more. So I do have a team that I'd say is very, very, very passionate.
Dope.
And that's some things that like I feel like is very hard to find, especially in an industry where it's just known for being fake as hell. Like it is what it is. And they have helped me like plan and navigate and get these shows because if it was up to me, I would not be doing 2 shows on the 24th. But with them, like I'm just so grateful because they keep me super level-headed. They keep like my stress and my anxiety down where I don't really have to stress about shows or things like that. I just have to like show up and do my shit. Like I have to practice. Like I don't just get up on stage and just whip it out. Like, oh, pause. Whoa. Whoa, that I know was a pause. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, definitely pause on that
What'd
one.
you say?
Yeah, it sounds crazy, right? But yeah, no, I'm so grateful for them. And they've been really doing a lot of that on the back end. So shout out to Chinasa and Dillion who have been in my corner. Sometimes I don't even like to just throw titles out there because that's like super stressful on people. But I would say like the people around me, my team, my support system. Oh my gosh, my mother.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Shout out to my mother because I promise you guys this music thing would not be easy if you didn't have family that supported you.
Word.
Thank you, Nelly, for always supporting me to your family. So
Of course. Yeah, it was funny because like even when I first like started officially doing music industry stuff, I was like, I hated the idea of just like manager.
yeah.
Just I don't even like the word. Like,
You do say that all the time.
Yeah, it's just like that's real shit. People who around me care about me or like they're gonna look out for you. Like if this is a genuine thing, like look out and good things will happen. Will come from it. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we wanted to touch on? Because we could really dive into it.
I know,
a lot,
right?
But it's like we're probably like about an hour now.
Okay. Well, you know, I
Let me
can't shut
think.
up. So
What's the name? Your last released project was Exposition.
yes, exposition.
Yeah, I mean, I wish Mara was here so we could
Me
talk.
too,
Yeah,
because
you
Morrow made it fucking happen.
For
I'll
real,
tell you
right.
that. That's my boy. Shout out to Morrow, incredible beat maker, producer. He's also an artist too, though. Like he dips and dabbles. So, honestly, that was one of my favorite producers working with for that project. I think he has 2 songs on the project, but my single that I dropped before that project, that's when we were on like 93.7 and like we were just like doing our thing.
And what was the name of that song?
Loving You. It's
And
called
what year
Loving
was
You.
this?
You come with the crazy questions.
It's the one in timeline.
It was like 18. It was like 18.
I'd say 18. I'd say 18 for sure.
Because I definitely, I want to say I linked y'all to it first.
No, oh yeah, wait,
Yeah.
May I just add? I only know Morrow through Nelson.
Yeah.
He telling me he's like, my friend's like he goes to Fredonia with me, blah, blah, blah. And like me, I'm just a very discombobulated person sometimes. So like I'm like, you know me, like I'm just gonna be like, yeah, like we'll get to it. And then like 2 months will go by and it's like Amber. So like we finally got to link. I don't even know how we did it.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, like, I want to steer you up. Like, yo, just go talk to him, listen to some of this, da da da.
And that was one of the best things that I feel like I definitely did in that year for sure. Because he's so talented. I love Morrow.
Shout out Morrow.
Shout out to Morrow.
Morrow on the beat. What's the name? I was trying to get you in there with Kevin Spears too.
Okay, let's go back to your birthday because I had this whole realization that I didn't even know it was him, right? So he's like, I had no idea. And I think I was supposed to link up with him like 2 months ago, but I had just gotten back from Africa and I wasn't in Buffalo for like a month. So like, and so many things have just gotten backtracked. How many times I was like, oh yeah, like we're gonna link because I knew him through like private school, like because he went to Kenesha's and I went to STEM, so I always knew his name. But at your birthday was when I saw him. I was like, I think I asked B-Boy. I was like, why does this guy look so familiar? I'm like, what is his name? He's like, oh, that's Kevin. I was like, Kevin Spears. Oh my gosh, Nelson's been trying to give me work with him forever. So we're linking up after the 24th.
Okay.
So I'm super excited about that.
That's
Yo,
gonna
he
be
be
some
plugging
magic.
me in. Yes.
The
Yeah.
music party, shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them.
boys.
They're
Shout out
dope.
to them for performing at my birthday. You performed
Yeah,
at
you
my
performed.
birthday.
That was dope.
That shit was everything I wished for.
And your
So,
brother performed too. Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
him.
Yeah, shout out
Shout
to
out to
Gino. Or Gino. He was quarterbacking a lot of that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I gotta get him back.
He was running around like a madman.
Yeah, I'm so happy that came together so beautifully though. Like so many people were there to show you love, and you just seemed like you're just happy to soak it all in. I was just
It was
so great.
Yeah, it was one of the moments my face was priceless.
You're like,
Hey yo, anybody who gets that picture or who has that picture, make any meme you want to, any GIF, we reposted it on the page.
yes, yo, that would be great. A
Hell
meme
yeah.
off of that face.
Classic shit.
You were so surprised. I was so happy. I was like, okay,
Yo,
he genuinely didn't know.
Yo, I'm walking in the room like dude was acting like he didn't even want to let us in. I'm like, yo, bro, like I was here like a month ago. We was talking, like, okay, yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, but here, just check out the space. As soon as I turn the corner, nothing but lights and screaming at me.
Surprise!
I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
He was froze.
I was about to back out. I was about to leave the room real
Literally
quick.
like this.
Yeah, then I'm like, then I seen my friend Erica, I seen my man Emil. I'm like, oh, I know these people. I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, man, that was a
beautiful.
I know these people.
that was a great time. That was a great time.
I loved that for you though. That was really. I was so happy to like be there in that moment because I had just gotten into town that morning too.
I seen her
was
the
like,
day
I'm not
before.
missing his birthday.
Yeah, she was in Rutgers, and I was like, oh word, like that's dope.
That's
I'm like,
dope.
yeah.
Because he had texted me. He's like, oh, like, do you want to come through to the podcast? But Cherry had already sent me the message, so I was like,
Yeah, so she was just, like crickets. I was like, damn, like
I definitely left him on red. I was like, let me definitely milk this out as much so when he sees me, he's gonna be like, yo.
We made a whole separate group chat. I was like, yo, we're supposed to record on Friday, but everybody say that you're not available, so that I don't have to like make up a lie.
Yeah.
The reason why we can't do it.
I love that you guys came together so nicely for that. Thank you for that.
appreciate all y'all, man. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
New music on the way for sure.
Of course.
Hopefully a project in the near future, but I do think I'm working right now on singles. But might be a project coming out in May. Maybe. I don't want to speak on it because I don't want to say things and not do it. So,
New
yeah.
music on the way,
Yes.
coming with the new weather.
Yes, new vibes, Amber Simone, you know.
So where can they follow you and all that good stuff?
Oh, yes. On IG, Amber Simone Music. Twitter, Amber Simone _ and everything else, Amber Simone.
Where big
YouTube page, all that. Amber Simone.
Amber Simone, period. It's going to be Amber Simone, then you got to add that period. Realize my name is a little common, but yeah, so definitely follow your girl, subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification button.
Notification bell.
Something like that. So
my God.
that whole spiel,
all that shit for the algorithm, you know? Get
Yes.
the algorithm.
Nah,
the
that
numbers.
notification bell is important. No funny.
It do
See?
get
See?
you
Because I let
joints.
people know when you dropping.
See,
Facts.
okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's why that whole script is there. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I'm glad that we finally were able to come together and get this done.
Yeah.
Perfect timing because it only been going up since we said we wanted to do one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it
Yeah,
makes
I
it
love
that
that.
better. Yeah, you
Divine
welcome back
timing.
anytime. Anytime.
Thank you.
No Label the Pod. We out.
Peace.
Bye.
She watching me like a cable. I'll be on no label, but my clothes be all